Hello. Right then, I guess I am live right now. Arjit has been pretty active in the chats. Okay. Hi Arjit, thanks for stopping by. Do let me know if my voice cracks. I'm trying the new update to RTX voice that they recently released. So I guess they're supporting the normal GTX cards also. So I'm trying that out. My laptop is under full load, and if it works out, I'll keep using. Hi Abhinav Hari. Welcome. Hello Santo. Yeah, my voice is breaking. All right. Let me switch back to my old microphone. I mean, let me just disable RTX voice then. Yeah, that requires a proper G. I hope my voice is better now. Is my voice all right now? There might be some noise because of the fan, but then I don't want to melt in front of you guys. Yeah, thanks Arijit. You are really pushing it and really motivate. Thank you for sharing it with your friends as well. It's good to see so many of you here. It's great to see so many of you here actually. So yeah, I mean, we're just chatting. Let me just put up the chat on the screen. All right. So how are you guys? If any of you are new here, do say hi in the comment section so that I can know who all are here, and then I can maybe even tailor it a bit according to what you guys want. And then maybe I can turn up the volume also a bit. All right. I am on live on Instagram as well, just to create a bit of hype. Let's see if anyone is saying anything on Instagram. That's that. Okay. All right, Abhinav. Thank you for stopping by. So this is just gonna be bare basics. I'm not going to cover anything special or anything too advanced. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join in so that we can have a more engaging discussion. So it's perfectly okay that you're not familiar with cloud computing. It's just to expose you to the field. If you want to see a behind the scenes look, you can check out what I'm doing on Instagram. So hello to everyone Instagram right now. Uh, so yeah, that's just a push. So Abhinav, thank you for stopping by. It's just going to be bare basics of cloud computing. I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown. So don't worry, those who are seeing me on Instagram, do come over to YouTube. The link is in my bio. All right, so I'm just going to wait for a few more minutes so that a few more people do stop by. If you are here, don't leave. We'll start in another 5 minutes. And do stick around. If you want me to increase the sound of the music, by all means I will. Yeah. Thanks, Arijit. Yeah, I'm sure Arijit would be a bit more familiar with the concepts that I'm going to teach today. Okay then. So I think we are okay. So for those of you who are listening and have heard of cloud computing, can you like what you know or like what you're looking forward from this stream, or any questions that you have regarding cloud computing? You can just message in the live chat. Let me just quickly reply to a few comments on YouTube. Meanwhile, those who are here, please do invite your friends also. So, yeah, um, basic storage kind of device. Harsh, yeah, the simplest thing that you can think of is Google Drive. Google Drive is also technically is technically cloud computing. So it's not cloud computing per se. It's cloud storage. So there are different aspects of it. We'll see all that. So I'm not gonna go too much conceptual today. I'm just going to like give you guys a bit of a walkthrough, nothing more really. So yeah, that's it. So um, again, if you have any suggestions or if you are looking to learn something out of this, mention in the live chat so that I can give you a shout out and then try to answer your question to the best of my ability. If you have been planning to start off with this subject, you can. Uh, you can just mention that in the comment section again, and I can let you know how you can get started. Um, Cloud storage is like a pen drive in the cloud. That would be a very vague way of putting it, but in essence, it's so much more than that because everything, including your backups, your connectivity, everything is managed by an external provider, right? So as I show you the different aspects of it, I'm going to go through all of those things. So don't worry about that. And so yes, hilarious coder. In a way, you are correct. But that is not the entirety of it. Again, Arijit, it's not a full-fledged PC. It's drastically different in a lot of ways. But you are not wrong. It is a PC in the cloud, or again, PC could be arguable because you can't exactly use it in as a personal computer. But yes, in some ways you are also partially correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk you through Linode, and Linode is one of the cloud service providers that I use a lot. So yeah, cloud computing is like doing our work in some other powerful device from our device. Yeah, that would be one way of putting it. All right. So yeah, couple of people checking out from Instagram. So yeah, if you are watching on Instagram, do stop by on YouTube as well. Just making sure my phone doesn't get fried in the process. I got my phone mounted all the way right behind me. So if you want to see a behind the scenes view, you can go check out Instagram. But yeah, that's more or less what's going on. So yeah, I suppose this is usually how much concurrent views we usually have. So are you guys ready to get started? If you ready to get started, let me know in the comment section down below. Just say we are ready to get started, and we will be right on our way. All right then. So I'm gonna wait for comments to come right in. So yes, so that's all of those things that we are going to cover today. I think I have to share the link with a couple more people, so I'm just gonna do that very quickly. Alright then, so let's see. My Instagram name is thomasrob.in. Uh, that should help. That's my Instagram name. That's also my website. So if you want to know more about me, you can check my website as well. So yeah, that's how it goes. I think if you go to the link that I have posted in like right below bit.ly/js links, you'll get the links to that as well. That shouldn't really be an issue. So well, all right then. I suppose we will be. Yeah, a couple of you guys are ready. I'm also gonna get started. Just give me my tab, which I use as my control pad, is not feeling in the mood to cooperate today. So I guess I'm not gonna be able to use my tab for this. I'll have to do everything manually. Try this here. My mod is here. Thanks, man. Yeah, it'll be nice if you post the link as well. That. Thank you. Thanks. It's a pretty DIY basic set. Not much. It's just I invested in the microphone, but apart from that, hi Syed, good to have you here. So as I understand it, most of the people here are not from SRM. So if I don't know you personally, please introduce yourself in the live chat so then I can engage with you better and tailor the content more for you. So that would be great for both you and me. So that would be really appreciated. Do message in the chat box so that I can. Marzuk is here. Harsh is from SRMIST. Okay. Which I think you stopped by last week as well. Your name seems really familiar. Third year mechatronics. Okay. Oh, I know a lot of mechatronics people, including Marzuk here is mechatronics. A lot of you guys. That's nice of you to stop by. So yeah, let's. Alright, so I'm just gonna get started now. Let's see. Okay. So hello everybody. Thank you for stopping by. This is the fourth time I'm coming to you with my live stream called FOSS Point. And this week we are going to cover the basics of cloud computing. Now, I do not intend this to be a very theoretical session wherein I explain what are the different aspects of cloud computing and the different components involved in cloud computing. What I'm going to do instead is just going to go right in to how to work with cloud computing and how I work with cloud computing personally. And I'm going to be using Linode, which is just a personal preference. There are plenty of cloud service providers there. Google has their own called Google Cloud Platform. Amazon has AWS, Amazon Web Services, which runs around 90% of the web, including Netflix runs on Amazon. So, and then the other option that you have is Microsoft Azure. So I'm just gonna go with Linode because that's a personal preference. They have also sponsored me for a personal project. They've given me $1,000 for it. So I have enough credit to see me through, and I'm pretty sorted as far as Linode goes. So I tend to prefer Linode. Now, in that, all right. So is my voice all right now? Okay, I hope it's slightly better. So that is why I personally prefer Linode. I'm feeling it might flatline. All right. This should be fine. Okay. So that is the reason why I prefer Linode, and everyone has their own preference. So in today's session, I'm just going to use Linode and show you guys firsthand what working on cloud computing is like. And for that, I'm without further ado, without wasting more time on introductions, what I'm going to do now is change over to the browser screen. Hopefully, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay, and okay, so before I get started with this, I'd just like to give Abhinav a shout out. I am a high school student from Kerala, have some experience in AI and ML and competitive programming. Oh, that's great. It's great. It's good that you've started in school itself. That is how anyone who is planning to make a mark on engineering should be. It's great that you have started early. And AI and ML is a great field. I wouldn't touch it, but that is a personal thing because I am not. That's not a field that I'm passionate of. But yes, it is great that you have started early. So yeah, I'll move on to working on giving you guys a few examples of cloud computing now. Where is my browser window? So what you see here is the dashboard of Linode. Now, as I explain, I want you guys to interact with me as much as possible. So I'm going to be monitoring the chat session as much as possible. So if you don't understand anything here, or if you want to know more about what you're seeing on screen, just quickly let me know, and I'll cover that for you. Okay, great. So alright, so this is the Linode dashboard. So a dashboard is your welcome screen basically, and it lets you know what all services that you're using. So this is my bare minimum setup. I have one instance. So this is like a virtual machine. So how many of you do not know what a virtual machine is? If you do not know what a virtual machine is, mention in the live chat, and then I'll explain what virtualization and virtual machines are. But if you know already, I need not like waste time on that again. So that's a basic cloud concept. If you guys need me to explain that, I will. If not, I do not intend on wasting time there. So if you see here, you can see that the name of the device is Watson. It's running on Ubuntu 18.04 over here. And okay, I'll explain what virtualization is right after I tell you this. It has dedicated it is a dedicated model. It has 4 GB of RAM, two CPUs, and 80 GB of permanent storage. So what you should understand is this is just like any other system that you use locally, except it is managed. The entire hardware side is managed by Linode. Now I can draw and explain the entire hardware side of things if necessary, but maybe I'll have a proper video to explain what cloud computing is about. So live stream is mostly for chat engagement. So like Harsh wanted to know what virtualization is, so now I'll explain what virtualization is. So I'll have a separate video for basics of cloud computing coming up, so do subscribe. And okay, my microphone is flatlining, so I think I should reduce that a bit. All right, hope my voice is not too loud. It shouldn't flatline. Okay, so yeah, I'll have a proper explanation of what all these things mean in a shorter video that's about 10 to 15 minutes long, coming out in the future. But for today, all you should understand is you can just keep asking me questions and then I'll answer it. So in the live stream, I plan to keep it more engaging and more audience based. So what you are looking for is the number of core count of your CPU. And in that case, in what we are looking for here is the same thing. I want a CPU that I want a system that has two CPU cores. I want it to have 4 GB of RAM. I want it to have 80 GB of hard disk space, essentially. So what virtualization allows you to do is, say Linode will have their own server racks, and all those server racks will have high-end CPUs that have maybe 32, 64 cores on each CPU. So what virtualization allows you to do, as the name suggests, is virtualize this hardware. So even though it is 64 CPU cores, or 64 or 32 cores, or how many ever cores, it allows us to virtualize it, as in treat it as independent cores. So if I want just 2 cores, the virtualization software can just allocate me 2 cores, and that can act as an independent system. And say I want more, the virtualization software can allot me more. So that is what 2 CPUs means. So that means that I have requested Linode, or rather I am paying Linode to rent me 2 CPUs at an hourly rate. I'll show you how the rate and everything works right now. So that is how things are. So virtualization allows to virtualize the hardware from like it allows it to be treated as a virtual object rather than something that's hardware based. So for this computer, I need not pay the electricity bill. I need not do maintenance to make sure dust is not clogged. All that is managed by Linode itself, or if you're using Google, you'll Google itself the security, data storage. Yes, you can get GPUs also, so I'll show you that as well. So say I'm going to make a new Linode. So these virtual machine instances, so virtual machine, as the name suggests, is a virtual system. It's a virtual computer, virtual machine. So as the name suggests, it is virtual in nature. It is hardware resources that is being provisioned. And what we can do is, say if I want another computer, I can easily click create. So Linode is what the company calls its virtual machines. So I can initially choose what operating system I wanted to run. So the easiest and the most obvious choice would be Ubuntu. I'm gonna go with 20.04 because it's the latest one. A region, so you can see that lot of regions come here. So all of these regions indicate a data center that they have. So a data center is just a place with a lot of computers. It's like a server farm. It is just a room or a warehouse full of computers, and all of these computers are networked with each other, and it is on a very high bandwidth connection, and it is all of the power, the air conditioning, everything is managed by Linode. And all you have to do is request it like this, and they will provision that machine for you, and you get one IP address that you can access. So I'm just gonna choose Mumbai here because that's the closest. In your practical application cases, you might have to see which has the least latency, and if it's some kind of application that you want to serve. Some people even look at the cyber laws of the country that they are planning to deploy in, so that it all depends on a variety of factors. In some cases, certain regions might be more expensive, especially in the case of Amazon and Google do this a lot. Their pricing and their rental greatly varies from place to place. So some place might have higher taxes, so you have to pay more for those regions. And those are usually the factors that happen. Harsh seems to have another question, but I'm not able to read it properly. Let me see. Okay. So a virtual machine is like a duplicate storage system for our data provided in any cloud. It's not just storage, it's cloud, it's compute also. So I'll show you that. It's like a full-on computer. Okay, I'll show you that. Just wait. So just like I'm going to shop for a computer, so these are all the models that I have. So consider those as plans. This is the monthly rental or the hourly rental. Now here, how many cores that I need? So Linode makes it really simple. If you have worked with Amazon, then you can see how much of a pain that is. Like their system is much more complicated, and you might end up overpaying because of the confusion, because of the sheer confusion that happens. They have a very complicated system. So Linode makes it simple with these plans. So say I want a two CPU system with 4 GB of RAM, or a 4 CPU system with 8 GB of RAM. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to go with this plan. So that's 2 CPUs, 4 GB of RAM, 80 GB storage. Now what do we call this? Yeah, that comes at the end, I guess. So this is the plan that I'm going. So I have requested Linode to give me a system that has 2 CPUs, 4 GB of RAM, and 80 GB of storage. think my voice just keeps flatlining. All right. So yeah, that is what I'm looking for. I have to give it some kind of a label, so I'll call it FOSS point 4. Okay. Now, if I want to group a lot of machines together, I can use a tag, and I am just gonna give some random password. Let's see. Okay. Or you can use an SSH key. Yeah, sure. From gonna retry. From the n number of systems that they have and the large amounts of CPU and space that they have, they are going to provision. You can see over here it says provisioning. So they are going to provision me a system according to my requirement, and they have already allotted an IP address for me over here. You can see that here. So yeah, now that system is going to be booted. Alright, any comments? Let me see how many people are watching. Alright, so that's a good viewer count. To the remainder of the people who are watching, it would be really nice if you interact a bit more in the comments. If you have any doubts, do ask me. And if you prefer any other cloud service, do let me know why you prefer that in the live chat. Also, yeah, if you. So now that you know about cloud computing, what do you think you would use it for? Again, these are all that you can let me know in the comments. SSH means secure shell. I'm going to show you what we can use it for in a second there. So now that you can see that our Linode has been booted, I guess. I think it has. So what I'm going to do is copy this IP address. I presume everyone knows what an IP address is. If you're on the internet, your device has an IP address. So this is the public IP address of the machine that we are using right now that Linode has given us. Now we are going to use a software called Putty. So give me a second here. What we are going to have to do is okay. I may have to break for a second because to show you this I would have to yeah. Okay, I have to add something to the screen. Just give me a second here. I am so sorry about this. Okay, so the IP address that we have the IP address that we had opened earlier and that we had copied earlier, we are going to paste it over here, and we are going to use the SSH mode to connect to it. And yeah, in my case I have profile set already, so now I'm not going to use any of that. I'll show you guys. So in SSH, alright, let's do it without the SSH key for now. So this is the IP address. SSH uses a network connection port called port 22. Again, I cannot explain what network ports are over here because it's way beyond the scope of the video, because it's networking basics. like basics of the internet, pretty much. So I'm going to enter the IP address over here. So this software is called Putty. Harsh, if you're not understanding, you can always message me in the live chat, and then I'll clarify. So I'm going to enter the IP address over here, and then I'm going to hit open. I think that box went away. Okay, this is something that I have to manage because I can't do a full display share on this, which really sucks. Okay, there you go. First, I'm gonna get right. So what you see here is a connection that has been established with the server, with the computer that I have just been established. So whatever I'm typing is being executed on the remote computer. So I'm going to log in as the root user since this is the first time. That's just how Linode works. And I'm going to enter the password that I you can see that I have been logged into the machine that we have. I've been logged into the machine that we have created just now, and you can see that again an 80 GB hard disk has been allotted to us. 4% of the memory is being used and all that, and you can see the IP address that we are accessing. So this is literally a computer. It's not just storage. There is storage. You can see like right now there's nothing in it, but you can see that it is a fully blown computer that we have been presented with, and it's a fully blown Linux instance. So as you should do with every new Linux instance, you can run Linux commands. So all this is getting executed on the remote server. Harsh seems to have another question. Let me check that quickly. So the software allows you to add the virtual computer into the real one. No. No. That would be what something like VirtualBox is for. So if I want to have a virtual machine that is using my current CPU in my laptop, I would use something called a virtual machine or something like VirtualBox or something called a hypervisor running on my laptop. This is not running on my laptop at all. Everything is happening in the cloud. Everything is happening in Linode's server. This Putty is a software that lets me connect to that remote machine. So it's like if you've seen command prompt on your local system. If you've seen command prompt on your local system, this is the exact same thing, except it is not connecting to your local system. It is connecting to that remote server. All right. So, okay. So I hope Harsh that I have answered your question there. If not, you can again tell me, and then I'll clarify it. I have no issues repeating myself because I really want you guys to understand these. Let me just quickly. We are mostly working on this. So, how many of you? I mean, I presume that most of you are familiar with Linux, but is there anyone who's not familiar with the basics of Linux? Okay, Santu has a question. So why do we want to use a Linode instead of a VM on your local system? Exactly. As Syed said, it's on the cloud. So when you're using a virtual machine, you're using your local system's resources. You're using your laptop's resources. So say you have a Pentium system, or you say you have Intel i3 or something. You don't have that many resources to spare to run two operating systems. So you want to probably offload something to the cloud, or if you are working on a cloud application, you need it to be in the cloud. When you are suppose you are hosting a website, it has to be on the cloud. You cannot connect your laptop. You can't host it on the You can't host it on your laptop, connect it to the internet, and then leave your laptop on forever, because the moment you shut down your laptop, your website's gonna go down. So that's why you use a cloud server. The cloud server will always be active no matter what. It will always be online, and Linode will take care of that. Okay, Syed is asking if there are any free plans in Linode. Glad you mentioned it, because I am an ambassador for Linode, so you can use my code, which I'll join the community. I'll post my affiliate link there, so you can use that to get $20 off, and that would be enough to get you through a while. Yes, you can make VPNs like that. Actually, there is a script that you can run to directly set up the VPN. Now, Hilarious Coder has another question. So Putty is similar to TeamViewer, which provided the IP address, can connect to the remote CPU somewhere. Yes, that is partially correct, except without the GUI. That would be an amazing way to put it. So it is, because you are remotely accessing that, right? So yes, you are like 95% correct, I would say. Except in Putty you can't get the GUI. It's just the command prompt. And if you are any self-respecting IT engineer, you wouldn't need a GUI. Everything you would do it on the command line itself. So do you want me to run through basic Linux commands? Anyone, if you want to know of basic Linux commands, then I can show you guys that as well, since we have some time to burn. Alright, so let me quickly show you some stuff with let me quickly show you some stuff about what Linode offers. Let's see how many people want to see about Linux basics. So we have guess we worked on Windows. Yeah, most of our work is on Windows, because. But then, if you want to get started with Linode, my team that I'm the team lead of, the project team, we did a series of articles called Linux for the Everyday Man. I think Syed will either post the link here, or I can post it in the community as well. So if you want to get started with Linux, I can get you that as a resource as well. That should not be an issue. So yeah, let me quickly just show you what we have over here with Linode. So I showed you how to make a Linode, right? So that is like creating your own system. So in the same way, you can create volumes. Volumes are like hard disks. So if you want to have some more storage, you can always create a volume, and then whatever size that you need. So you build according to how many gigabytes that you use, and that gets attached to whatever Linode that you want. Say, so right now I have 2 Linodes that are active, right? I have one called Watson, which is my personal Linode that I use, and the other one is FOSS.4 that I created some time back to show you guys. And then which region that I want. So another thing is, you can have some kind of data redundancy plan. So suppose God forbid one of these places gets destroyed, your data is again backed up offsite. I'm sure that Linode has their own measures in place, but you can have your own as well. Also, another thing that is that this is used for is called content delivery networks. So say you're accessing a website, the fastest access rate will be from a server that's close to you. So those who are familiar with mobile gaming, you will be more familiar, you'll have heard the terms heard people say that choose a server that's close to you or in the same continent as you. So that's another reason. So when it's closer to you, the access time and all that gets easier. So object storage is for another day. Object storage is good for bulk storage. So it is fundamentally a different way of storing things. It is not like how you store stuff in your personal hard drive. It's basically indexed as a key value system. So you can put data on here, and then you will have an endpoint to access that data. So it's a file oriented system. It's fundamentally different. Now if you have an application that needs to be very highly available, say you have an e-commerce site, like can you imagine the loss that Flipkart or Amazon would take if they were down by a second? It would be in the range of lakhs to crores of rupees. So in all those are high availability systems. So in such a case, what you need to do is have multiple points of service, and a node balancer is something that can help you achieve that. And yeah, if you have a domain, they can have you manage that also. Now yeah, this is something that I wanted to show. I think Said asked me if we can set up a VPN. You can set it up with one click. Just click this and then click what kind of line node you need. Yeah, you have to set up a VPN password and then set your plan and then hit create, and then you can get a VPN right out of the bat. Otherwise, if you want to have a lamp stack server or a mean stack server, if you want to have a Nextcloud instance or a cPanel server, whatever it is that you need, they'll handle it for you. So it's a basic startup script. Like if I click cPanel, they'll have the parameters that you have to enter for that. And in all these cases, it's entirely self-managed. It's pretty direct and pretty straight to the point. They recently launched their own bit. It was saying, yeah, it's for $5 is their minimum plan. So yeah, you can have Redis databases, MongoDB. If you just need something to test or whatever. So Linode is very developer focused rather than production. So yeah, you can get it running right out of the bat. Longview is for analysis of your machines. Kubernetes, those who are familiar with Docker can probably understand what Kubernetes is. So it is a bit more of an advanced topic. So Linode recently launched their own Kubernetes service as well, and stack scripts are what you can use to create virtual machines right out of the bat. So Hyperledger Fabric, this is a stack script that I wrote. You can go check it out on community stack scripts. So what this does is set up a blockchain, Hyperledger Fabric blockchain network right out of the bat. So all you got to do is click here and then click deploy a new Linode, and it will create a Linode with all of the elements of this stack script, that is Node.js, Golang, Docker Compose, and all those things pre-installed. And yeah, then there's just accounts and billing, and yeah, I don't share those right now. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Now I'm just gonna go back to just chatting, and if you guys want to know something in particular, I'll cover that. Otherwise, we can wrap this up pretty early today. Alright, yeah. So hope you guys understood what the basic what exactly you try to achieve with cloud computing, or like what it is. Like you've probably seen firsthand of what it is to work with cloud computing. Yeah. If that is the case, you can like let me know what you plan to use this for, or maybe you're going to check out cloud computing. Let me know that as well, and I can probably suggest some resources to help you with that. Okay, Said has another doubt. Let's say if I make a VPN, how many users can use them? Are there any restrictions? No, there are no restrictions. You are only restricted by the network traffic bandwidth that you rent from Linode, and the resources of the plan that you're using. So sometimes maybe you need more RAM, or maybe you need more CPUs or whatnot. So those are your only restrictions. Otherwise, Linode won't put any restrictions on you, because you're making it and deploying it yourself, right? So nothing like that. All right. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I had in mind to cover this week. Mostly the thing that I had to share with you guys is that I'm really focusing on revamping this because I am not the best fan of the format that I have currently. So if you guys have suggestions on how I can make the live stream more effective and efficient for you guys as viewers, I would really appreciate that because Saturday at 9 I will be going live every week. But I want to make the content more useful for you all. So I would like to hear your thoughts on how that's possible. Okay, so Harsh is asking, do students use cloud computing? I have been using cloud computing for a very long time. I think at least 2 years. That's okay. That's probably not a very long time compared to a lot of people working in the field, but compared to a student, that is a significant amount of time. And once you start with cloud computing, it changes your perspective on what is possible in the IT sector because you have limitations on internet connection and everything that you work on a regular basis, right? But when you're in the cloud, your perspectives change. Like the other day, I saw one channel that I follow called Network Shuck. He was setting up a VoIP phone, voice over IP phone. So he was doing it for LAN. Now since I'm familiar with cloud computing, I'm seeing if I can do the same for a multi-tenant network. So if I can set up my own VoIP server. Again, I'm just trying that, and then again for one of my projects on cloud, I am doing something called cloud native personal computing. That is basically having your personal computer be something that's basic, and then using that to access the higher resources that you can see here. So that is so that I hope that answers your first question. Your second question is like, is it mainly useful for companies which deal with larger number of data and stuff? See, as students, as a personal computer, cloud computing is not as relevant, but as a student developer, it should really matter to you because there's a lot of demand for it, and a lot of companies are going cloud native because there's a lot of advantage to that, and because of that, you don't really you don't really need to have more on-site stuff when you can migrate a lot of things to the cloud. So as an engineer, it's a relevant field and relevant thing to know. But for the personal use of a student, the only cloud service that you're probably going to use is Google Drive. But again, Google Docs and everything is basically orchestrated as cloud compute. Your text processing and whatnot is happening. I think my stream broke there for a sec. Okay, so if you so Saturdays at 9 is time that I'm keeping separately for the stream. So as you guys are on the receiving end of that, if you have any suggestions, or if you have any ideas on how I can better engage with you guys as my viewers, as my audience, do let me know what kind of content I can do to entertain you guys better. Yeah, that is that would be the best. Now I see another question, probably a lame question. Trust me, you don't have to worry about lame questions with me. If your client base is in a different country, does it make choose a server closer to the country or the HQ for faster dispatch? Maybe. Okay, that is a relevant question. That is very relevant question. So HQ meaning yourself. I'm presuming that you are the HQ, or as in you are the company that is developing it. So it always has to be closer to your client because they are the ones that are going to consume the data. So when you have to do updates, that's like once in a blue moon, right? So what you're going to do is you're never going to update your production. So what production is what's available to the public like right now. So you're not going to mess with that right away. What you're going to do is upload your new code, and then you're going to eventually replace it. You're going to do a switch. So in that case, latency is not a factor there. So you're always going to choose something that's closest to your client. It always has to be closest to your client. So that's how you get the best speed. Yeah, I hope I have answered your question, Divya. Yeah. Again, there are subsets of that called edge computing and everything, wherein computing gets further decentralized. Can I make a live session on Hadoop or Tableau? Yeah, I am not very familiar with Hadoop. Tableau, I have not worked on at all. Hadoop, I have had the opportunity of. Okay, no, I have tried using it. But yes, I can. If there's a good viewership for that, I can. But I was mostly talking. Okay, thank you for this topic suggestion though. But I was thinking of the format. Are you okay with this form of presenting? Like, do you think it would have a scope of growth, or should I maybe restructure it a bit? Maybe host it like a live session on Meet and then stream it to YouTube, so that you guys can talk to me through voice, or maybe just stick to making short videos and avoid the live stream, or maybe go a bit more into hardware, show soldering, PCB stuff, Raspberry Pi, and all those things. So such ideas regarding the stream would always be welcome. And most of the other tech streams that do live coding and all are usually like 3 to 5 hours long, and yeah, I cannot go live for 3 to 5 hours long, that most certainly. So given that restriction, I would really like to see, like, if you have stuck around for this long, you guys are pretty much vested in this, right? So I promise to find better music. But apart from that, if you have any suggestion, I would really be open to hearing it, and I would really like to move in on that as well. Oops, I hit my mic. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you guys, yeah, Discord would be a good option. Discord would be a good option, because I don't like Google Meet, to be very honest. And since we just need the voice, Discord might be a good option. So if you want to interact through voice, you can join on Discord. But then, yeah, that would be something that I'm open to trying, but I have not considered it too much. Yeah, we'll see. The thing is, my laptop is hot enough to fry an omelette. Yeah, exactly. Processing power is my concern. So yeah, I had this entire, like, if we were talking about a cloud native solution, my laptop would be dual core when I'm browsing, but then like hexa core or like octa core when I was going to live stream. So that would be nice. Future topics are mostly up to you guys itself. Like, as of now, I planned on going with cloud computing a bit. Like, I can show you guys more about cloud computing. That's certainly an option. But if you have another topics, it would be very welcome. What depends on what you guys want to see. Yeah, my Insta live has ended. Just going to delete that video. So yes, I am just chatting right now. So yeah, cyber security, not really my domain. Nonetheless, yeah, okay, I'll check that out. Harsh, I hope you're in the community. And I would really like to hear your voice there also whenever I float an idea by you, or something of that sort. So that would be nice. Alright then, so with that, I think it would be better that I wrap this up for the night. So Thank you all for stopping by. Okay, if you're in the WhatsApp group, that's perfectly fine. So thank you all for stopping by. If you're still stuck around, that means a lot. Thank you for stopping by, and it really helps that you guys are supporting the stream like this. My domains. I've pretty much put my hand in almost everything other than AI and ML. I really tried AI and ML as well, but it was just too much mathematics for my taste, so I didn't really focus more on that. But I am proficient in IoT. I take classes. Like when I say it's my domain, I also take classes there. So I am proficient in IoT, Linux, cloud computing, what else? Blockchain, that is Hyperledger blockchain, not the conceptual stuff. More of you could say that I work on blockchain mostly because of that. Mostly because I know Linux well. Web development, JavaScript, those kinds of things. So yeah, I hope you found this informative. If you liked it, like the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Cliche YouTuber dialogues, but I really do have to say it, don't I? So thanks for stopping by. Tell your friends also to subscribe if you liked it, and if you think your friends would find this useful, please do share it. Join the community, and I will post the link for my Linode promo code there also. And yeah, videos on IoT. Actually, I just yeah, maybe I'll show you some other time. I have a separate arm here that is for top-down shots and for hardware stuff. So I can even do like soldering guys, and I can show you Raspberry Pi walkthroughs. Yeah, IoT is definitely on the table. Even when I used to have take classes, I used to have a separate top-down camera like right beside me, so I can show the hardware, breadboard, electronics, and all. So yes, that is perfectly possible. So do help me reach out to a wider audience though. If this link that Sai is sending you, if you can share it to your friends and have them join the community, it would be a great help for me, because then I can tailor the content according to what you guys need and what you guys are looking for, right? So that's the thing. So thanks for stopping by. I will wrap it up for today, and if you guys want to know anything else, mention in the live chat, or even in that link. If you go to that link, the last option is my WhatsApp number. You can always message me personally as well. Alright, so thanks for stopping by. I'm going to wrap up for the night. Alright, thank you.